So welcome to the another video, and in this particular video we are going to see overview of this Cyberpanel. So I have Cyberpanel right here installed already. In the last video I have installed the Cyberpanel and I'm using, so this is the DigitalOcean server I have created with the 1 core processor, 2 GB RAM, and on which I am installing this Cyberpanel. So without wasting time, let's get started. So on the left menu, as you can see, all of the main options available, and whatever we are selecting from the left menu, the details of that will be listed on the dashboard right here, or you can say the main working ground here. Okay, so let's click on the dashboard, and as you can see we get this menu, nice menu here. So whatever is listed right here is also listed in the main thing in the left menu. So it's a quite same thing, you can refer either here or you can go here. Okay, so first thing, let's explore about the user. So what is a user? So by default there is only one user on the Cyberpanel, which is admin, but you can create multiple users here. Okay, so suppose you have 4 clients and you want to create separate websites for the 4 client, right? Obviously, so in that case what you can do is you can create a 4 separate users and you can assign these 4 websites to these 4 clients, right? So this is how we can use this. So as you can see on the screen, there are a few options available. First is view profile option. Obviously it will give you the Cyberpanel profile. Then there is a list user option. As of now there are no users that I have created, so that's why there is nothing here, but you can click on the create user on the top right and you can add new user in the Cyberpanel, right? So hence I'm not going to add any user. Let's go back. Then there is a create a user option available. It will open exactly same form that you have opened from the list users. Then there is a modify user. Obviously you know what's a modify user. And then there is a delete user. So whenever you are deleting the user, make sure that, so if there is any website assigned to that particular user, please remove that website first, or please assign that particular website to the, let's say, admin, and then only delete the user. So otherwise you may lose the website data also. Okay, so let's go to the dashboard again and let's explore the second option, which is website. So let's click on the websites. Again, there are some basic things: create website, list website, modify website, suspend and delete website. Okay, create website is obviously the simplest thing possible. Like, it's just a form where we can fill the details and create the website. Then there is a list website. Again, it will list the website that are on the system. Then modify website. The modify website is quite interesting because it is not exactly modifying the website. It is only modifying the configuration of the website, such as, let's say you want to modify the PHP version of the website. Then there is a suspend and unsuspend option. So why this option is there? Okay, and suppose your client is not paying for next month, then what you can do is you can just suspend that particular website belongs to particular client. Okay, so it is easy to manage the subscription. That's why there is a suspend and unsuspend option. Then there is a delete website option. Obviously you know it will delete the website. So let's go back and let's explore the packages. Okay, so what is the packages? So in the packages, as you can see, there is a create package, list package, delete package and modify package. Okay, so in order to understand what is a package, let's go ahead and click on the create package. Okay, so what is a package? Let's take an example of the hosting provider. Suppose you are providing the hosting service. In that case, you need to limit user to particular usage, right? So you need to limit according to pricing. Suppose there are 3 packages you are creating. First is beginner package, then startup package, then upgrade package, or let's say premium package, right? So in the beginner package, it might be possible that you are giving the, let's say, permission to create 5 websites, like 5 domains, right? Then there is a disk space of 25 GB. Then there is a bandwidth limit of 1 TB, let's say, and FTP account, the 4-5 accounts, whatever. And again, you can set the limitation for database and emails also, right? So this is how you can create the packages and you can offer to your clients in order to run your hosting business, right? If you are using self-hosted Cyberpanel for yourself, then you don't need to go into the details, right? Then there is a list package. Obviously it will list all of the packages. Then there is a delete package and modify package. So you already know what this is. So let's go back and let's explore the database. So by default, Cyberpanel only offers the MySQL database, right? So right here options are available to create database, modify database, delete database, right? So in create database, you cannot just randomly create the database. You need to assign the database to the particular website. So as of now, I am inside a create database, and as you can see, it is not giving me any button to create. because there are not any website that I have created on the server. So if suppose I am creating any website on the server, then only it will allow me to create database for that particular website. This is how it works. So once you create the website on the server, and then only you can create the database. So let's go back and let's see delete database, list database. So you already know what is the delete database and list database will do. Let's explore the my PHP admin. So what is my PHP admin? It's a my PHP admin access. So if I just click on here and open the link in the new tab, you will get something like this. So this is a my PHP admin. So some of you might be familiar with the MySQL database. So when you install MySQL database, you get something like this, where you can see all of your database. You can manage the user if you want, but hopefully we have the manage user functionality available in the create database also and list database also, right? So as of now we haven't created any database, so that's why there is nothing. But once you create the database, you will get the option for manage users too, right? So you don't need to necessarily interfere with this my PHP admin until and unless you are doing a little bit advanced things or you are configuring something by yourself, right? So let's close this and let's go back and let's explore another option. There is a DNS. So what is a DNS? So if you are hosting the website and you are going with the self-hosted Cyberpanel solution, then I think you already know what is a DNS. I don't need to tell you. Definitely you should have the knowledge about the DNS. Okay, so in the DNS functions, you can create a name server. You can manage name servers by from your side also, like cPanel. And there is a create DNS zone option also available. Delete zone is obviously you know what it do, and there is a add delete records. Okay, so let's click on the create name server. So right now, as you can see, I have not created any website, so I cannot just fill information here. But in your case, if you are familiar with the creating custom name server and you have the website, then only proceed with this particular option. Otherwise, don't get into too complex details. Then there is a create DNS zone also. It is also recommended if you have DNS related knowledge. Otherwise, let's stick with the last option, which is add and delete record. Here basically you can select any website and you can add the name record, you can delete the name record, etc. right? So let's go back and let's first create a first website, because we are facing too many issues in the explaining this admin panel. So let's create a test.com website, right? So let's say my email address is info@test.com, and there is a select PHP version. I'm going to select 8.0, and rest of the things I'm going to keep the default. And let's finish the creation of the website process. It shouldn't take long because we are not selecting any other options or like SSL or something like that. So as you can see, the website is created. Let's go back and let's go to the list website. So as you can see, the website is there. So let's go to the dashboard again and then go to the DNS and then go to the add and delete record. So as you can see, I can select the test.com here, right? Because I have created website test.com. Then there is a name record, a record, cname record, and all types of records are here. You can delete it, edit it, and add it, right? So it's like a normal DNS, but it's a self-hosted DNS, self-managed DNS, you can say, right? So once you understand this DNS, let's go ahead and let's understand the FTP. Okay, so if you are hosting the website and if you have familiar with the WordPress website in the past, then you obviously know what is a FTP. So FTP is basically file transfer protocol, and it is used to store files on the server or access the files on the server, or let's say modify files on the server, right? So this service is particularly used by the WordPress website, but it is also possible that you can configure this particular FTP service with any other website or any other framework also. Okay, so let's go to the dashboard again and let's explore the next option, which is backup. So here you can create, obviously as per name, you know that here we can create the backups, right? So once you click on the backup, you get nice options like backup, restore, add, delete destinations, schedule backup, and remote backup. So let's go one by one. Let's click on create backup. So here basically you can create a website level backup. So it will just create the backup of the website files, right? So if you go to the let's say website and list website, so let me right click here and open in the new tab. So as you can see, this is the website. Okay, this is the list website and this is the website. So if I click on the file manager here, or I can just go to the manage also, and let's a little bit scroll, and here is a file manager option available. So in the public HTML folder, all of the website source file will be here. Right now there is only index.html because it is by default page created by the Cyberpanel, right? So let's go back here, and this backup process will create a backup of the source code of the website. It will not create backup of the database, it will not create backup of anything else. It will just create a backup of the source code of the website. Understand this? Okay. Then there is a destination option available. By default is a home created by the Cyberpanel. Obviously you can click on create backup and it will create a backup. So let's go ahead, and there is another option available, restore backup. If there is any backup for website, obviously you can select here and restore. Then there is a add delete destination. So what is a destination? So as I told you that by default backup location is a home. Basically here you can change the location and you can create the another location for backup of the website. So in the local, let's say there are two options available, local and SFTP. So what is a local? Locals means you want to create the backup on exactly same server where the Cyberpanel is hosted. Basically you can give the custom endpoint name, like let's say the backup in, let's say www.dir backup, okay, or www.dir location you can say, right? And there is a path. So here you need to enter the path, such as by default the path is /home/ but we can change this particular path to something like, let's say /var, let's say /var/backup, or let's say any directory basically, right? And you can add in the destination, and once you add in the destination you will have that option available during creation of the backup. Right now just there is a home destination option available, but once you create you will get another option available, right? So let's go ahead and let's click on the destinations, and let's say I'm going to go with the local, and let's say test, and I'm going to add the path /home and /var, right? So this is the path for my backup, and make sure that the path exists on the OS. So let's click on the add destination. As you can see, the destination is added. Let's go back in the backup and let's create the backup for test, and as you can see it is showing me it is not showing me as of now the destination right here. So this might be bug in the Cyberpanel. This similar bug has been existing in the last version also, so it might be possible that the bug is in this version also. That's why there is a no destination listed here that you created newly. Okay, so next thing, if you go to the destination, there is a one more type available, which is SFTP. So what is SFTP? Suppose right now you are creating a backup on the local server, but what if you want to create a backup on somewhere else, like remote server, another operate, another server on the remote place? So in that case you can use the SFTP protocol. Okay, so if you know what is a FTP, then there is a SFTP, which is secure version of the FTP that can be used, and that can be basically, this service can be linked with the this particular backup thing, and it will create backup for your website on remote place. It's always recommended to the set up the backup on the remote place only, because if these servers go down, something happens with this particular server, at least your files, the backup files, will be available on the remote server where you can access and you can restore from there. Okay, so it's another layer of security, you can say that, right? So let's go back, and there is a schedule backup option available. So what is a schedule backup? So if you are familiar with the cron tab, then you definitely know what is a schedule backup. So basically I can say that for every 2 months create a backup, or I can say for every month create a backup, or I can say every Sunday create a backup. So it's basically scheduling the backup. So here I can select the destination. Okay, so destination is here available. So on that page the destination wasn't available, might be the bug. So this is the destination we have created the test. We can select here the backup of the name. We can say, let's say weekly backup or something like that, like weekly backup, let's say. Then there is a backup frequency, never, daily, weekly, and something like that. So we can select the weekly also if you want. By default there are only 3 options available. There should be some monthly options also available, but they are not available right now. Okay, so then there is a select backup retention level. Okay, so here you can set according to your number. Then And once you click on the add schedule, it will schedule the backup, as simple as that. Okay, let's go back and let's explore another option, which is remote backups. Okay, so if you remember, SFTP backups option also available, but the remote backup option is a little bit different from the SFTP one, right? So SFTP is basically the FTP protocol specific backup. In order to create backup, we need to use the FTP protocol only. But suppose if you want to use something else, like if you want to give the access to the remote server directly, then in that case you can just create the IP address here. Sorry, you can just enter the IP address here, password here, and it will get to that particular server access, and it will convert into the backup server, right? So this is how it works. Okay, so let's go back to the dashboard again and let's explore another option, which is emails. Okay, so what is emails? So by default, Cyberpanel also gives you the email service. Okay, so basically what is the email service? Suppose your website is a test.com, then you can create emails like admin@test.com, something like. So right now, whatever emails you are using is a Gmail emails, right? Like suppose, let's say my name is Abhijit, so abhijit@gmail.com, that's my email address, right? So similarly, you can create a custom professional email addresses like admin@test.com, something like that, admin@domain.com. So here we can configure all of the things about the email server, right? So basically, in order to create the email, or in order to list, manage email, and whatever you want to do here, you should have the email domain created for your domain name. Okay, so during the creation of the website, so let me go again in the dashboard. So during the creation of the website, if you remember, there was one option available, which is create a mail domain and DKIM support. So these two options needs to be on if you want to host your own email service, right? So once these two options are on, then definitely if you click on the create email, it will show you here two options, mail.test.com and test.com. And if you want to create email accounts for those, you can just create email account right here. Then there is a list email. Obviously, you know what is list email. You will get the list of the emails here if you select particular domain. Then there is a, okay, so let me just go to the list domain, because there is one more option available. So if I select the test.com, it is saying no emails exist for this particular domain. Okay, so I'm not sure, I haven't selected the DKIM support option during creation of the test.com, so that's why it might be possible that it will not create email, but let's give a try. So it is creating email. Wonderful, that will be helpful in the demonstration. Let's go with the list and let's select the test.com. So as you can see, it is showing some warnings here. That's interesting. It is showing the SSL for email is not configured properly, and you may get self-signed certificate error. Exactly, right, because we haven't selected these two options, right? The SSL, SSL also needs to be selected, sorry. SSL, OpenDKIM support, and create mail domain, that needs to be selected if you want to host your email service. And definitely once you do that, you will not get this particular error. And obviously, in order to create connection to the email server from remote locations or from the websites, you need to use these particular credentials. Usually we stick with this particular thing, which is email port 587, and we use that for sending the emails. And obviously the username is going to be the email address, and password is going to be the password you set. So let's delete this particular email because I don't need it. So let's go back and let's explore another option. So obviously delete email, you know what is a delete email. Okay, so there is an option called email forwarding. So what is the email forwarding? Suppose there is an email called admin@test.com and xyz@test.com. Suppose you don't want to check emails on two different accounts. Then what you can do is you can just add email forwarding in the admin@test.com, admin@test.com, so that all of the emails receiving to admin@test.com will be forwarded to xyz@test.com. So that's process called as the email forwarding. If you don't understand from my explanation, then go ahead and search on the Google. It will explain really well. Then there is a change password option available. Obviously, it will change the passwords of the email, and there is a DKI manager available. So whenever you create the mail domain, you get the key, which is DKIM key. There will be two key, private key and public key. These are keys which plays a really important role in the email, because these exactly the key will be used to encrypt email which is being sent outside. If this particular key is valid, then only your email will land in the inbox, otherwise it will go in the spam, right? That's another topic that will be covered in the email series, but as of now, let's keep in the mind this is the important part, right? So next thing we need to check is we covered DKIM manager, then access webmail. So once you create the emails, obviously you need to access somewhere. So here you can just enter the admin at, let's say, test.com, whatever the email you have created, sorry, .com, and then you need to enter the password and click on sign in, and it will give the something like a Gmail, like it will give the something interface like a Gmail in order to send email, receive emails, and whatever, right? So let's go back and let's explore the another option. Let's go to the dashboard and let's see SSL. So SSL is the most crucial part of this Cyberpanel, because it is managing the SSL for the normal websites also, and it is managing SSL for the main server also. Okay, so what is a manage SSL right here? Basically, there is a website, whatever the website you are setting, by default it is using the let's encrypt to get the SSL, because let's encrypt SSL are free SSLs, right? The let's encrypt SSL comes with the expiration date, which is 60-day expiration period. So if it is expired, and by default a Cyberpanel renews the SSL automatically, but if it is not renewing because of some issues, then you can manually issue SSL from this particular page right here. Okay, so next then there is a hostname SSL. What is a hostname SSL? So as you can see, we are accessing this particular control panel on this particular IP address, and it is showing not secure. So this is the hostname SSL, which can be generated from right here. So as you can see, we are using HTTPS. This SSL was generated by the hostname SSL. Once you have the validated host, then obviously this will turn into the green. So that's the work of the hostname SSL. Then there is a mail server SSL. So mail server SSL is quite similar to the normal SSL, but it is listed differently, because there is a separate service called mail service on the Cyberpanel, which is using postfix to send email. So I don't know about this, but whatever the logic used in the Cyberpanel, but because of that, it is separating the SSL for mail from the actual SSLs, right? So basically here you can just select the SSL domains, mail domains, and get the SSL for that. So as of now, there are no mail domains. You cannot select the test.com. Okay, you need to select mail.test.com. Hence, I haven't created mail domain in the creation website process. I haven't checked this particular option for creating website. That's why I'm not getting it. But if you do, then definitely you will get it. Okay, let's go back and let's go to the next section, which is status. Okay, so what is the status? Status is basically you know what is the status, right? It will show the status of the current running services and current running processes. So it will show the top processes, whatever the top processes are going in the VPS. It is similar to the top command in the terminal. Okay, so if you go to the SSH login, and if you access the server using SSH, and if you execute top command, you will get the similar output, right? But obviously on the Cyberpanel, it's quite easy to view, and yeah, everything is clean and clear. So let's go back, and there is a light speed status. So if you remember from the installation process, we are using Open Lightspeed server in order to host Cyberpanel, and that's the Open Lightspeed server is the same server which is used by the Cyberpanel in order to host the website. Okay, so what is Open Lightspeed actually? It's similar as a Nginx and Apache, but it's quite good in terms of the performance, right? So that's why it is being used in the Cyberpanel. Next, it's the Cyberpanel main log. Obviously, you will get all logs here. Then Cyberpanel service statuses. So I told you that in the installation process, Cyberpanel asks for which services you want to install. Self-hosted DNS is also there. Self-hosted FTP solution is also there. Mail service is there also there, and database is also there, right? So obviously the mail service is not listed here. The postfix and dev code is not listed here. But obviously the Open Lightspeed, the server we selected is here. MarineDB is here, and Power DNS and Pure FTP is here. Okay, suppose you have hosted the website like test.com, and you made some changes in the website, and the changes are not reflecting in the real time in the website, then what you can do is you can just came here and refresh this particular part. That means restart the Open Lightspeed server, and that will be updating the latest changes, and it will be then the changes will be reflected on the website, right? It's as simple as that. Let's go back and let's explore another option, which is PHP. Okay, so here basically we can install versions of the PHP, we can install the extension of the PHP, and we can change the configuration of the PHP. Okay, so if you are not developer and if you don't know PHP in detail, let's keep it simple. Let's explore the edit PHP configuration option only. Suppose you are hosting the WordPress website and you are choosing the PHP version 8.1 or 7.4, whatever, right? So if you remember, in the create website option, there were options available for the selecting the PHP version. Okay, so when you select this particular PHP versions, it plays crucial role during the website hosting or where the PHP is being used. Like WordPress also uses the PHP, Laravel also uses the PHP. If you want to host the static website, then it doesn't matter which PHP version you choose. If you want to use the Node website, if you want to host the, let's say, Django website or any other, then PHP version doesn't matter, no matter which PHP version is selecting. But if you are hosting the WordPress like website, then definitely you need to select the PHP version. Again, there are some advanced configurations available, such as, let's say I selected the PHP 8.0 in order to create a website. So either I can click here and I can edit some configurations here. Suppose by default PHP allows upload, let's say, 2 MB files on the WordPress website only. But if you want to change the limit, then obviously you can change it right here and save and restart the PHP. Then there is advanced option available. The basic option is a simplified version, the prettify version. Basically, you don't need to go to the each and syntax details and each line and the messy things. But in the advanced, you will get the actual PHP configuration, right? So this is basic example is also the same as advanced, but it's quite simplified. It is just showing few fields that needs to be changed, but in the advanced obviously you get lot more options. Okay, let's go back and let's go to the another tab, which is logs. Okay, so you obviously know what are the logs. So we have hosted a lot of different services on the Cyberpanel by default. Mail services there, website services there, and Cyberpanel is itself a service, right? Then there is a FTP service is also available, and there is a security service is also available. We will get to the later. We haven't explored the security service yet, but there is, right? So basically you will get logs for each service. If I click on the mail server log, we can select the SMTP and host whatever, and we will get email logs here. Then there is access log. Basically it will give the access log of the websites whatever we are creating. So right now there are no access log because we have created text.com, and it is just a normal domain, so it will not give anything special because the test.com doesn't exist in this world. It exists, but it's not available for publics. If you are creating a website using your own domain and someone is accessing the website, then definitely you will get logs here. Then there are error log. Suppose you are hosting the let's say you are hosting the WordPress website and there are some critical errors in the background, that's why the website is not working. So in that case, all of these errors you can find right here and you can do the debug thing, right? Then there is the email logs. Obviously you know what is the email logs, right? So yeah, that's all about the email logs. Then there is a FTP logs. So these logs are basically logs of the service called FTP. Then there is more security. So if you don't know more security, just skip that particular part. It's a security thing. I will explain later. So let's go back and explore another option and last option, which is security. So basically, what is the security? By default, Cyberpanel allows you to configure your own web firewall, right? And then in addition, it offers some other options also. We will go one by one. Let's explore the option called firewall. In the firewall, it's the same as web firewall or UFW in the OS level. Okay. So here we can configure the firewall, obviously rules of the firewall. If you are hosting your own firewall or if you are using the different custom firewall, so obviously we have installed the Cyberpanel on the server, right? So suppose you are using AWS Linode or something like that, then they offer their own web firewalls, right? So that can be configured by using this rule. You can just copy these particular rules and paste it there, or you can just turn off that particular firewall and you can use this one. This is by default Ubuntu's UFW firewall. You can just click on the on and it will be on. Right now it is showing that it is on, status is on. Okay, so let's go back and let's explore another option, which is secure SSH. Basically, let's say you want to do SSH login on this server. So how you can do it? So basically you can go here on SSH and you can click on the SSH key, and here you can click on add key, and you can add your public keys of the host device like my current PC, and that will allow me SSH access into the server, right? So if you're not familiar with this particular SSH part or Linux part, then just forget it, don't get into it, because if you do something wrong in this, then it might be possible that you are compromising server security, right? So let's go ahead and do the CSF. Okay, so basically CSF is an add-on on Cyberpanel. If you want extra layer of security, you can just go ahead and install right here, but I'll suggest don't go with this particular add-on because it is not needed, right? We are doing self-hosted Cyberpanel because we have limited usage. We just want to host our own few websites, so that's why it's not needed. Then there is a mod security configuration, mod security rules, and mod security rules packs. Okay, these three packages are related to the mod security. Again, the mod security is an add-on that can be installed and that can be configured using these particular three packages or these particular three options, right? Let's go ahead and let's explore this particular option. As of now, as you can see, this is not available. This is only available on Cloud Linux. So what is a Cloud Linux? If you don't know about this, if you don't have experience about this, just ignore this part. If you know what is a Cloud Linux, then obviously you know that it's a native installation. So in this case, we have much deeper access over the machine where we can do all of the security configurations or all of the necessary things. So this is the exactly same thing. If you are not familiar with this, just ignore this particular thing, right? And I'm not sure about this also because I'm also not familiar with this. I'm also haven't configured in this in the past, so if I say something wrong about this, just let me know in the comment. I will correct it later. Okay, so there is a Humanify 360 available. Okay, so again, this is an add-on, right? So you need to go to their website and get the key and use this particular here. So it's like an antivirus for this server that can be used. It is offered by the software as a service SaaS that can be used using the access key. You can just purchase the plan, enter the access key, install now, and it will start working on your server, right? So let's go back, and as you can see, we have finished all of the options on the dashboard. But if you scroll here on the left menu, as you can see, it is showing the main. So whatever is inside the main is already explored on here. But if you scroll a little bit, there are some server options available. Okay, so what are these servers options available? First thing, so root file manager. Okay, so I will show you what is a website level file manager, and then I will show you what is a root file manager. So let's go ahead and let's click on the list website. So if you see in the list website, there is a file manager option available, or if you go to the manage, exact same option is available inside also, but it is a shortcut. So let's click on this, and as you can see, it is just showing files for the website. If you see the path, it is showing home/test.com, right? But it is also possible that see the files beyond the path. Like suppose right now it is /home/test.com. If you try to access /home only, then it will be not allowed according to my knowledge, right? So if you go here, if you click on the back, it will not take the back, it will show the error here, but we can go further, right? Similar way, if you want to access the home directory or any other base directory, you can just go ahead and you can just explore this particular root file manager, and it will give access to the obviously the root, right? So as of now, I think this particular thing is not available in the free version, so that's why it is taking on Cyberpanel's website. But let's as of now ignore this particular part. Okay, so let's go ahead, and there is a Cloud Linux. Obviously I told you like what is a Cloud Linux, so it will give you a little bit deeper access of the OS. Basically you cannot install this Cloud Linux on the VPS, you need a bigger size, or this solution is basically suited for the bare metal solutions, bare metal servers. So let's ignore this part. Then there is a containerization. Again, there is an option called containerization. Containerization is a paid feature which is not available in this particular version. It is available on the enterprise level, so let's not go there. Then there is a Docker manager, it is available. So what is a Docker? Basically you can host the website services on the Docker, and you can that integrate with the Cyberpanel using reverse proxy. So let's go ahead and let's click on the manage. Basically you know what is a Docker. If you know the Docker, you should have understanding what is a Docker image, Docker container, Docker volumes, right? So basically we can manage all of that thing. First thing, we need to install Docker. As of now on my system the Docker is not installed, that's why option is not available. But you can again explore the options right here, the manage image, manage containers, and create a new container, right? So if you are familiar with the Docker, then only go with this option, and if you are familiar, then you obviously know all of these already. Then there is a tuning. So what is a tuning? So each server has a tuning options available. So tuning is a basically quite advanced configuration that you can do on particular server. Okay, so what is the advanced configuration? Suppose you have the let's say you have 15 million users for your website, then obviously you cannot use the default configuration. You need to increase the cache memory of the server, you need to increase the maximum concurrent connections to some level, right? So that of all configuration can be done here also, or you can just copy this particular URL, or let's copy all URL. Let's go to the new tab, and instead of 8070 you can just type 7080, and you will get another control panel here. Okay, so what is this control panel? Open light speed control panel. So as I told you earlier, Cyberpanel is using open light speed server as by default server, web server, right? So basically either we can do configurations here by logging into this, it will but it is not user friendly, it is a little bit messy, or you can just use this particular light speed tuning thing, but obviously there are a lot of limited options available here. So if you want to go advanced, let's go here, or if you want to go normal, then let's go here. Okay, next thing, there is a PHP tuning. Obviously PHP also has a tuning. If your website is hosted on the PHP, let's say WordPress or something like that, then obviously in order to optimize the performance of the website, you need to do tuning for the PHP also. You can just select the website right here, and you can do the whatever the PHP tuning you need to do, right? So if you are using let's say memcache process, something like that, in order to fasten your website like WordPress website, then this PHP tuning makes sense and it's crucial there, right? So next thing, let's go to the server status. Obviously you know what is the server status, we saw that in the above also. Let's not go there. Then again there is a PHP. Here we can do installation of the PHP extensions, we can edit PHP configuration, you already explored that. Then there is a log that we also explored. Then there is a security that is also explored, and then there is a managed services and plugin. Let's go to the managed services. Here you can manage these services such as Power DNS, Postfix, and FTP. So right now if you see in the, let's say services section, server status, not server status, services section of the dashboard, let's go here. Okay, I will show you. Let's go to the dashboard. If you go to the status section, here in the list of the services, so in the list of the services we are getting limited services. Email service is not listed here, but if you go below in the services, like let's say right here, managed services, then obviously you get the for Postfix and the Power DNS. Okay, Power DNS is explored. The Postfix is basically email service that can be turned on and turned off. This is an email sending service. Okay, so if you scroll a little bit, then there is a mail settings also available, like you can check the mail queue. So if you are not familiar with the mail queue, suppose you are using self-hosted email service and your website is sending mail, but from the server side mails are not getting sent because of some errors, then in that case all of the mail queue will be listed here. Then again there is a mail policy server, because we can set the cap on the server. What is the cap? So basically we can limit the website how much mails website can send, so that's a policy server. Then there is email limits. The policy server and email limits is quite same thing, you can explore it. In the email limits you need to first create the policy server, then only you can create email limits. Then there is a spam assassin. So this is the basically plugin. Okay, so there are a lot of plugins we saw today, right? So the spam assassin is plugin. If you install this, it will automatically scan for spam emails in your incoming inbox. Okay, so where you can access the inbox, again if you in case you forget, if you go to the dashboard right here, there was emails available, emails, there is a access webmail available. So this is your inbox. If you log in here, you will get inbox, right? So basically now you know what is a spam assassin does, right? So that's all about this Cyberpanel. If you have any other doubt, just let me know in the comment. I will try to answer that particular question. I'll do my best. And that's all for this particular video. In next video we will see how we can host static website using Cyberpanel with Open Light Suite. And thanks for watching this one, and see you in the next.